I just heard about this new app called Paper. You've heard of Pencil, you've heard of Figma. This is like in between them, I guess. But this thing is pretty incredible. So this is Paper's website. It is supposed to be Figma meets AI coding. And what I'm hoping is it solves all the simple stuff that Figma is honestly really blowing and frustrating about, where I can just connect to something like Antigravity, pull in designs, and start designing. All I really did was I went into Antigravity first and I said, hey, I want to add this MCP and injected Paper into my files and help me get it going. Then I also said, can you connect it to my Notion? It's like, yeah, I can absolutely connect Notion to Paper because I already have that MCP connected. Can you ingest bedo.studio, which is my website for my YouTube channel? And it said, I would be delighted to ingest bedo.studio. So also, this is the new Anti-Gravity. It seems to be working pretty well, but that's kind of what I'm working with here. So it said, great, let me find all this stuff. And it says, I am ready to create the new desktop Paper in Canvas. Would you like me to go for that? And it said yes. And if I go into Paper, I just kind of jumped off to this page, but this is what this is what it created, which is really close to what I have. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to go to a new page. Let's just do this over again so you can see it. I'm going to say, that's great. Can you import my website, freedom.bedo.studio, into Paper as well on a new page? And I'm going to say yes and always, blah, 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 doing some stuff. Here, I'm going to move submit. And I really need to set up where I don't have to agree every single time. So this is kind of what I did the first time. I've created this new page, blah, blah, blah. Would let me know if you put this direction. I'll immediately create the canvas and build the site piece by piece. I'm gonna say, yes, let's do it. I am going to jump into Paper. Just like that. That's freaking amazing. And it even put like this kind of like green background thing. This is like kind of some faded things. I can lock that. I can go in here and I can change any of this stuff. So this used to be called Bedo Financial. Well, I changed it to Bedo Freedom, but like that stuff's all editable. I could go in here and change. And this is the first time I've ever used this app, so I don't really know where anything is. I have just done this for the first time today. I just heard about this, but here's where I could bring in my brand colors, set this up more specifically to have brand colors and stuff in here and have this be more aligned very easily. But this is pretty amazing. Okay, so then let's do something else. Let's do one more thing with Notion. So let's do that. Everything costs $20. So I'm gonna go into Antigravity. Can create a new page that takes this content and turns it into a blog post. I don't have a blog page yet, so create a blog page in the style of Bedo Freedom and use this content as my first article. Let's see what it does. Always allow. Always allow. All right. Design brief. It's got the same colors and stuff. It looks like, well, if you approve this direction, I will immediately build a blog post in Canvas. Let's do it. Whatever. Okay. So I'm going to jump back into Paper so we don't miss any of the. Okay, it's already starting. That's so fast. And this is called blog post. Everything costs $20. I wrote this about AI agents and everything. Everything costs $20 when you want to start it up. Sometimes it's $16. Paper has a $16 plan, but everything costs $20. And one of the things I saw on Paper's website was just how I could connect this to Notion and use this. And I'm a big Notion user, so that's pretty exciting to me to just have all of my content derived from Notion and pulled into here. So you can see it's doing it. It's got the text back to the page. Definitely looks pretty branded. That's pretty amazing. Styled it, created like this hidden stacking subscriptions. One $20 tool is fine, but the stack looks like this. I have to look back in this. It's interesting though, it's style stuff. Like if you go back to this, like here is I had some of this stuff in here, but yeah, I mean, that's the text I had. It's pulling directly from the text, but it styled it. And here's a less scannable version right now that I kind of used. I used AI to help me write some of this stuff. So let me go back to paper, and then, okay, what's that? Okay, so then let me go back to Antigravity and see what it says. Okay, so what was done? I created a dedicated page, set up the blog page inside your paper file, create an artboard, structured the header. All right, so if you haven't watched some of my other videos, you should check them out. So I made a couple of videos specifically about this. One of them was my best performing video on my channel yet, but it was about importing a coded website into Figma, and that's when I did the thumbnails for the YouTube on this very site. And I had to use a third-party plugin. It wasn't that fast. I had to go rename stuff. This is amazing. So here's the blog. Let's see if there's anything else here. Kind of create a new page, page one. So it created this own page for me. So I wrote Veto Freedom, but it just did it all. It just did it all for itself. What you'll find here about this channel, back to the studio blog. So, you know, I would need to, I guess it did, the one thing it didn't really do, it didn't really create an overarching blog page. So let's just see what happens when I do that. Can you create a blog landing page that you would get to this page from that has cards and there are blogs on it? So this is a good example. I mean, obviously I gave it the Notion page before, but this is kind of the first time I haven't really given it anything. Let me just jump back to paper and see if it's creating anything. Haven't seen it do anything yet. Oh yeah, here it goes. It is doing it. Featured post, all posts. Yeah. That's amazing. This is amazing. It's an amazing time to be a designer. It's an amazing time to be in technology. If you are trying to do creative stuff and you want to know about new AI tools and how to design and how to grow and get better at this type of stuff, give me a like or subscribe or tell me in the comments what you'd like to see me do more of. I'm going to keep trying to create videos about stuff. This stuff's changing every single day. I work in design. I'm a design director for a software company. I've got 15 years experience leading designers and teams, and I have more fun just messing around with AI on the side than I do doing my daily job. So if you want to learn more about this stuff, definitely give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you. And let me know if you've tried paper or you like paper. But I think I'm going to be using this because this is friggin' cool. Check out my other videos about trying to do this with Stitch and my other video about stopover prompting and how to use Figma to get your final design output. Thanks.